the focus of protected areas is on nature. There's a perpetual discussion in IUCN about the difference between nature and biodiversity. So we would see ourselves frequently focusing on biodiversity, and it is biodiversity where we see the substantial crisis, but nature is a broader set of values, and as a geologist we work a lot with geodiversity, and nature has values that are intrinsically more than about biodiversity. So there was a big discussion, should protected areas only be about biodiversity or about a broader conception of nature? And then, as you can see here, they're not only about nature, they're also about cultural values, and they're also about the services that were talked about yesterday as well, that these areas provide. So that's the definition we give, so don't think that people think protected areas are only about biodiversity. And then this complicated diagram is just to unpick what we think is the kind of the way to classify protected areas. Now, don't maybe focus on the detail here, but the important point is that we have a series of categories of protected areas that the category reflects the objective of that area. So is this an area that's really definitely set aside for conserving a particular species? Is this an area protecting a particular iconic monument? Is this an area protecting nature within a used landscape, with a farmed landscape, for instance? And you can see the objectives, the categories down the left-hand column. But the new development in 2008 was to recognise that governance and how protected areas are governed is the other central construct to understanding protected areas, and in particular since 2008 to empower the recognition of governance by actors that are not government, not national and not local government. So IUCN is articulating the view here that community and indigenous conserved areas are a completely valid form of governance for protected areas, that shared governance between government and community is valid, and that private governance is also valid. So we're trying to really expand here the range of governance models that protected areas can deal with. So these would be these key references that I'd like to get to you all.